The summer of my second year of junior high. Right now, I'm being bullied terribly. I don't mind if people ignore me or hide my things, but if my bullies are having a bad day, then they beat me so hard that I get knocked out. But even so, I'm unable to think of throwing myself from Suiyo Bridge. I can't die yet. In order to achieve my goal of meeting a particular person, or rather, a particular ghost, I've come to this bridge. There's a certain rumor, an urban legend if you will, regarding this bridge. There's a ghost called Kasanashi-san. It's said to be the spirit of a businessman who jumped from the bridge one rainy night. If you visit the bridge on a rainy night and see a man standing without an umbrella, that's Kasanashi-san. That's what the rumors around town say. Why did Kasanashi-san end his own life? Nobody knows. But despite that, there are numerous theories. I think he no doubt died hating this world. Yeah, he must have felt the same way I do. And if he's lingering as a vengeful spirit because of that same hatred, then he would undoubtedly understand how I have that same hopeless feeling too. But here's the problem. I'm dying to get revenge on my bullies. Whatever it takes, I want to kill them. After hearing my story, will Kasanashi-san help me with my revenge? The rumors of this ghost are honestly the only thing I have left. He's not here. I looked for the ghost alone in the falling rain. I may have looked foolish from the outside, but I was very serious. From my point of view, considering that I had never done anything wrong, the treatment I was getting here was far more incomprehensible. And so, it wouldn't be that weird for something outside of common sense to exist in this crazy, messed up world. Damn it, I can't see him at all. Is that? A figure stood roughly 40 meters ahead of me. It looked like it might disappear at any second. Trusting my instincts, I ran over to it. My clothes felt heavy thanks to the rain, but I didn't let that bother me. Wet hair, pale skin, eyes reflecting the dull color of the sky. It was difficult to believe he could be of this world. Are you Kasanashi-san? Who are you? What are you doing out here all alone at this time of night? After a moment, he looked at me. My first impression was that, for a ghost, he wasn't very scary. My name is Inoue. I came here today because there's something I want to ask of you. Something you wanted to ask of me? Okay. Well, first, let's hear it. Relief washed over me. I was frightened that I might be cursed the moment I tried to talk to him. Then I told him everything. About being bullied, and about how I wanted to get revenge. Kasanashi-san listened to it all in silence. You sure have done well to endure all that. It must have been difficult to never dish anything back. Well, it was never worth it. Talking would never get through to them. So, here's what I want to ask of you. Okay, if I can help you, I will. I want you to kill them for me. Eh? Why do you want to kill them? I hate them. I never want to see them again. And so, I thought if I asked you, then you could get rid of them for me. Well, that's a bit... So you won't do it? You just said you'd help me if you could. Ah, you're just a liar like the rest of them. Hold on, that's not it at all. But this is all a little fast, don't you think? Putting someone's fate in my hands. Well, yeah, but it's a wish I'd like you to grant right away. You understand, don't you? All right. If that's how you feel, then I've made my decision. You'll help me then? Thank you. It's not like I can make this happen right away. I need to know a little more about you first. That's why I want you to spend the night thinking it over. And if you really want me to get revenge for you, then come back. All right, tomorrow, yes? I'll definitely be back, so wait for me. All right, well then, I'll see you tomorrow. Kasanashi-san told me to go home before the rain got any heavier, and so I put Suiyo Bridge behind me. Running into an urban legend for real and actually getting to talk to him was like a dream come true, although I doubted anyone would believe me. What would I say to him the following day? I gradually picked up speed as my heart started pumping even harder in my chest. July, and the prolonged rainy season. It showered once more on this night too. As promised, I made my way towards Suiyo Bridge again. I held a notebook in hand. Kasanashi-san said he wanted to know more about me first, so I planned to show it to him. He was standing in the same spot as the night before. His blank eyes stared far into the distance. I'm here. Ah, Inoue-kun, thank you for coming. Oh, what's that notebook? You said you wanted to know more about me, right? That's why I brought the thing that's most important to me. My occult notebook. Occult notebook? I enjoy looking all sorts of things occult. I love scary stories and urban legends. I put everything I gather here in this book. Huh? What a nice hobby. Would you tell me a few stories? Let's see. There's a hotel full of yokai, a man who eats people's dreams, a land on the other side full of people who met undeserved deaths, a murder theatre. There are so many. I honestly don't care whether these stories are true or not. Even if they're fake, these stories come from people's hearts, so I find them fascinating. Fear is born of the unknown. It's said that's why people in the past created yokai as well. That's certainly true. It is indeed very profound. And which is your favorite, Inoue-kun? Kasanashi-san, of course. Eh? Sorry. Forget I said that. Seems I said something terribly embarrassing. Why is that your favorite story? I just said forget it, didn't I? Sorry. And so, I lost track of time as I told Kasanashi-san various occult stories. He never once showed any signs of being bored and continued nodding along. How long had it been since I was able to talk at length about something I enjoyed like this? Maybe it was the first time ever. There wasn't a single person ever who said, "What a nice hobby," when I told them that I was interested in the occult. I'd never been able to say it with pride. But still, telling an urban legend about the existence of other urban legends was weird. It made me smile even more because he was so intrigued by it all. Haha, Inoue-kun, you sure do know a lot. Losing yourself in something you like so much is a talent. I'm jealous. Kasanashi-san, you must have had some hobbies when you were alive. What did you like? I'm sorry, I don't remember. Is that so? But you don't need to apologize for that. I'm the one who's sorry. Still, if you like the occult this much, then you can no doubt become an occult novelist. To tell you the truth, that's my dream, to become an author. Well, isn't that a lovely dream? You're a smart kid, so I'm sure you'll write some fantastic stories. Write all sorts of stories and submit them wherever you can. But honestly, I don't have any confidence in myself. I've never shown anyone what I've written. That's a waste. But I can understand that you might be a little nervous about receiving harsh feedback. I know, I'll be the first one to read it for you. I'll give you some good advice. So, will you show it to me? All right. It's written in the back of this book. Kasanashi-san started reading my novel with a serious look on his face. He was unable to physically touch anything, so I had to turn the pages for him. Each time the story progressed, Kasanashi-san's eyes seemed to light up. Maybe I was just imagining it, but that was how it looked. This is amazing, Inoue-kun. Did you really write this? It really drew me in. Thank you. Those words were the only thing I could squeeze out. My ears grew hot. Even after breathing in and out several times, my chest felt full. So this was what happiness felt like. I was both happy and relieved. So this was how it felt to be recognized. It was the first time I'd ever felt this way, so I had no idea how to react. I was glad I wrote a novel. I was glad I liked the occult. It truly felt like it wasn't a mistake to create my own world. So, some advice. What's wrong? I'm sorry, I can't think of any. It was just so interesting. Kasanashi-san said with a smile and slightly troubled look on his face. If he was trying to flatter me, wasn't that a bit too much? I started to feel a little worried. So, on that note... Yes, what is it? We should get to the real topic at hand. My revenge. You understand more than enough about me now, right? So help me out. Well, not quite yet. I mean, none of that had anything to do with your bullying. That's why you should come back again tomorrow. Let's chat about various things. What you enjoy, what's bothering you. I'll listen to whatever you have to say. I need to know everything about you. You said you were being bullied, but I can't exactly go cursing someone I don't even know. Fine. Thank you. Well then, I'll see you again tomorrow. I closed the notebook and turned away from Kasanashi-san. I thought that the following day I'd never have to see their faces again, so my disappointment grew. But I couldn't be selfish. Their lives were now in Kasanashi-san's hands. Tomorrow, I would have him end their lives. I left the area immediately. I still couldn't see the moon. A week had passed since I first met Kasanashi-san. It was extremely difficult to get out of the house without my parents noticing me. Perhaps unaware of my difficulties, Kasanashi-san showed no signs of fulfilling his promise. As matters refused to proceed, the bullying against me continued to escalate. The day before was especially bad. In the heavy rain that was only getting worse, I strode with purpose towards Kasanashi-san. I couldn't take it any longer. Hey, Inoue-kun! Did you bring your notebook again today? I didn't. They threw it away. Eh? My bullies took it and then put it on the school notice board. Then they ripped it up and threw it away. My occult notebook that I'd looked after so well, all the things I wrote that Kasanashi-san praised, all of it was gone. Even when they dumped water from a bucket over my head, and when they posted photos of it on the internet, all I could think about was that notebook. The contents of that notebook were, in a word, my own private paradise, a place filled with all the things I liked. I never thought anybody would be able to mess with that. But I was wrong, because I had no right to such happiness. That's awful. Everyone laughed as they watched. They made fun of me, and I guess that's the real meaning behind the word ridicule, huh? Not a single person has ever listened seriously to my dreams before, so I knew that. But I'm here, aren't I? I'll be here waiting for others to tell you it's a wonderful dream as well. It's kind of pitiful only receiving support from a ghost. But Kasanashi-san quickly cut off his rebuttal. It was hard to tell off such a kind person, but it would be too easy to hurt him. Hey, Kasanashi-san, what does it feel like to die? What's this all of a sudden? Tell me. I don't know what it feels like. I've never died before. It's lonely, death. Lonely? Not painful or hard. It's lonely when you realize that when you die, the world doesn't change. I left nothing behind, accomplished nothing. I feel it deep in my bones, even now. So that was what death felt like. Not painful or difficult, but rather just hollow inside. So then, exactly how I felt now. It wasn't the hitting and kicking that hurt. It was them making fun of my dream that hurt the most. It was like the warm light in the bottom of my heart went out. It was a truly awful feeling. I had never cried over what they did to me, but I couldn't stop the tears when they tore my notebook up in front of me. You won't leave anything behind. You can't do anything. It was like they were saying that to me. You can make them feel the same way, right? Well, that's not necessarily so. Hey, do you really? Enough. Help me with my revenge already. I can't keep going on like this anymore. You were the same, weren't you? You took your own life because somebody hurt you. The rain grew heavier in the cold silence. He should have just accepted my proposal, and yet he continued staring at the ground. It didn't matter what he said. I already knew the answer. The ghost in front of me died, wrapped in hatred. We were kindred spirits, losers in life. So then, why wouldn't he help me? I thought he, of all people, would. Or was he just kind to me all this time to make me lose even more hope? You understand how I feel, right? I hate them more than life itself. I want them gone. Please. Put a spell on them. Curse them. Whatever it takes. I don't care. And are you really okay with that? You might come to regret it. No, I won't. Never. The only thing I'll feel is on top of the world. I'll even laugh at their funerals. You can bet on it. That might be how you feel now, but I can't guarantee that once it's done, you'll feel happy. Even if you don't do it with your own hands, once you grow up, you'll no doubt be affected by the guilt of causing someone else's death anyway. Are you really okay with that? Can you swear that you won't ever come to regret it? Ask for revenge. I swear it. No matter what happens, nothing will change how I feel. Plus, you're the only person I can ask. I'm the only one. My hand holding the umbrella trembled. Kasanashi-san listened quietly as I forced the words out. There was no going back now. That was what his eyes said as he looked at me. I see. So you're serious then? No, you were serious the whole time. Yes. I'm sorry I never took what you said seriously. I was afraid of changing the course of somebody's life. Of course, of ending the lives of those bullying you, but also of changing the course of yours as well. But I finally made up my mind. Thank you. I'll carry out your wish for revenge. I promise. Thank you, Kasanashi-san. Now it can all end without anything else bad happening. Yes, you don't have to hurt anymore. No matter how heavy the rain is, I'll be your umbrella. You can relax now. I'm not really the type to say this, but I'm glad I met you, Kasanashi-san. Yeah. Well then, I'll see you again tomorrow. As heavy rain fell and strong winds blew, I put Suiyo Bridge behind me. My umbrella broke on the way home and the heavy rain assaulted me. Finally, I could escape from hell. Nobody would make fun of my dreams again. Despite the weather, my footsteps were light. It was already sunny in my heart. Thank you, Kasanashi-san. I couldn't wait for tomorrow to arrive. Even after I got home, all I could think about was Kasanashi-san. I failed to catch how he was going to do it, but he would no doubt curse them to death. There was no denying that the strange deaths of several junior high students would cause quite the fuss. But I had to believe that he'd deal with them well, because he was the only person I could ask. Morning arrived. I didn't sleep, so I felt a little off. It was like the smell of the previous day's rain was still hanging around. I turned my eyes to the TV as I picked at the breakfast on the table. There, I saw something not even I could have imagined. News just in. A brutal murder has taken place in the residential area of Adachi City. The suspect has been arrested on suspicion of entering the junior high victim's house around 3 a.m. and strangling them to death. At present, the suspect has admitted to the allegations and strangely repeated that, "I did it to protect someone important to me." End 1. Inhuman person.